Today we're going to discuss Google Ads, what was previously called Google AdWords, and why it's so important to know what it is as a business owner, especially if you are in the online space. So, what is Google Ads? Google Ads is a platform that is owned by Google, and that is the ultimate shortcut to the #1 spot on Google. Now, do I recommend this? It depends, but you need to know this as a tool set in your toolbox as a business owner, all right? So right now we're going to discuss generally what Google Ads is. We're going to discuss a little bit of optimization strategies, and in the end I want to jump in a client acquisition cost breakdown, and you're gonna realize at the end how much it's going to cost you to actually get a client from Google Ads. Alrighty, let's jump into this and let's see what's going on. We need to look at this from the customer's perspective to really understand the power of Google Ads. All right, so let's say you are a business owner, and let's say you're a pizzeria shop in Portland, and we have Bob, who is a potential customer who has a problem. And we need to understand what is Bob doing and how Google Ads can really impact your business. So Bob is hungry at this point. His problem is hunger. So the way that Bob solves his problem, which is very common, is he goes on Google and he types in pizzeria near me. And you, as the business owner, happen to have a pizzeria that is near Bob's location. Now, traditionally, if you wanted to show up on the first places on Google, you would have to do something like search engine optimization work. Now, with Google AdWords, you can bypass all of that search engine optimization and you can get to the on the top few spots of Google. This is incredible, but it costs money to play. And it costs sometimes quite a bit of money. And we're going to discuss the client acquisition funnel at the end of the video, so stick around for that, because that's going to show you the exact cost of how much it's going to cost you as a business owner to acquire a new business, right? But let's get back to the example. So Bob finds your pizzeria on Google, and it says your pizzeria, and it says ad next to it because you are paying for Bob to see that ad. Now, Google does not charge you for Bob to see that ad. Google charges you when Bob clicks or performs an action with your advertisement. Now with Google, you can set up a couple of things. You can set up a lot more. I want to focus on two that are most important. You can set up clicks to your website, or you can set up calls to your business, right? And if you want to see a video on the optimization methods on Google AdWords, there's going to be a comment box down below. Leave a comment, let me know you want to see that video. But let's say you can do calls or you can do clicks to your website. So you need to know which one is better for you. If you are a more phone type of business, you can convert leads better on the phone. That's the one to focus on. If you can send traffic to the website and it's a nice website, it's a clean landing page that maybe has a special offer for your pizzeria, and it just says, special offer, order now. Something really nice and simple that's going to get the person to click order now, and that's going to get you a new order. All right, so that's basically how Google Ads works. And at the end of that process, when that person clicks on your website or gives you a call, that's when Google is going to charge you. All right, and Google works on these things called keywords, and the prices of all of these keywords depend on the auctions that are going in your local area. Okay, so let's say that you have John's Pizza and Bob's Pizza, right? Maybe John is willing to pay $2 for that phone call and Bob is willing to pay $3 for the phone call. Google is going to give more phone calls to the John who's willing to pay, or the person that's willing to pay $3 for the phone calls, okay? So that is basically how Google Ads works. Again, it's that shortcut to get to the #1 spot, but it might cost you a little bit of money. And again, you pay per action that the person takes, not per view, which is really important to you, which is great for tracking. Okay. Now, if you want to before we get into the client acquisition costs, if you want to do Google Ads and you want to test it out, what I highly recommend is you use Google's promotions that are widely available almost everywhere. If you go and you type in on Google Ads, you're going to go on their website. They are probably going to have some kind of promotion on the bottom right corner. It's going to say some kind of a coupon code. It's going to say, hey, get $100 on us, get $50 on us. If you are a new user, definitely want to use that. If you are willing to test the waters and see Google AdWords, how it works, maybe perform a few ads. If you want to have somebody manage it for you, I have a really good recommendation. Again, leave a comment down below and I'll reach out to you with that recommendation. I'm not affiliated with them. I just know that these guys are nerds. They love what they do and they really help you optimize your Google AdWords. All right. So again, let me know down in the comments below if you want that recommendation. Okay. So let's move on to client acquisition. All right, this is the best part. This is the most exciting part because we're going to look at some numbers here, all right? And I want to look at a few contrasting examples, right? So at the very bottom end, let's say you are a pizzeria shop and your bid for a new customer is going to be starting at $3 per click, okay? Sirens, all right? $3 per click. And let's say I was doing research on tax attorneys recently, and somewhere in the United States, people are willing to pay, tax lawyers are willing to pay $168 per click for a person who's searching tax lawyer, okay? So with that base cost, which by the way, you can find out in Google's Keyword Planner, there's a free account you can make on Google, and you can sign up for the Google Keyword Planner tools and you can type in pizzeria and it's gonna show you how much it costs for the click on the pizzeria keyword, okay? So that is very important for you. You need to know what keyword people are searching for to solve their problems and what the price of those keywords is, okay? So let's say you find the top 5 keywords. Maybe you find pizza, you find pizzeria, you find hot food places near me, right? And let's say the average sum of those keywords is $3, right? So it's going to cost you $3 per click. Let's say you're sending people to your website, okay? So it's going to cost you $3 per click to send people to your website. Now, on average, we're talking about the whole industry here, so your numbers might be completely different. Normally, 20% of those clicks convert into leads. And what a lead is when a potential customer submits their information for you to reach out to them. In this case, maybe you have some kind of an option where the person can submit their phone number where you give them a call back. So when that person submits a phone number, that would be considered a lead. So we go from a click to a lead in the first stage. So on average, again, 20%. So that would mean if your cost per click is $3, we multiply that by 5 clicks. On average, we'll get you a $15 per lead price per lead, right? So 15 bucks per lead, right? Now, let's say that person, once they submit their information on your website, you give them a call back and your closing ratio, again, this is statistically average, is 33%. So 1 in every 3 leads you're going to close, okay? So what we do is we literally multiply the cost per lead times 3. That gives us, our cost per lead was $15. We multiply that by 3. So our cost per client now is $45. Okay, does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Alrighty. So that is the final number that you really need to focus on, because the cost per click is pretty low and it seems deceiving at first to realize that, hey, you know, it's pretty cheap. People are going to click. They're going to, you know, buy whatever. You need to track all of this. So make sure you're not bleeding money. It's very easy to bleed money on Google. Please, please, please keep track of this stuff so that you understand that with a $3 cost per click, you are getting a $45 cost per new client, which is a very important number to focus on. What is the actual cost of the new client? All right. Now, let's say we are running much higher numbers. Let's say, again, you are an attorney. Maybe you're not a dentist, but you're some kind of lawyer, something that has very high value service. Let's say your cost per click is $100. All right. And again, we're going to use the same numbers here. Let's say it takes you 5 clicks to get a lead. So times 5 is $500 per lead, right? It's getting very interesting. All right. And again, let's say you have the same closing ratio of 33%. We're going to multiply 500 times 3. That's $1,500 per new client. All right. So That's for you to figure out. Are my services worth $1,500 for that new client? And what's something to think about here is, if your client, let's say, it costs you $1,500 for that new client, and you are breaking even on that first initial contact, but you have some kind of a service that you can upsell the client to, then it makes legitimate sense to even break even at the front point, but to make more money at the end, right? When you're upselling more services, that client becomes more and more valuable to you, right? But that is something that's called the lifetime customer value, which is something that, maybe you should calculate, maybe you should not, but something that you can think about at least. And again, if we're going back to the $3 per click example, your cost per client is $45. So you need to understand, am I actually going to make money if the client costs $45? Maybe you sell a product for $40. At that point, you're going to lose $5 to Google, plus the time and the effort and everything that's required to perform service to that customer. All right, so these are some things you need to think about. This is Google Ads. In some cases, it's very beneficial. In other cases, it can bleed you a lot of money. But in either case, you need to understand that this is one of the tools that you can employ and implore into your tool set, and that you can literally use tomorrow to get new business. Alrighty, so go ahead and try out the Google Keyword Planner tool. Just go on Google and type in Google Keyword Planner, sign up for the free account, test it out, see what the costs are, and do the metrics that I just told you, and figure out what the cost per client is going to be for you to understand what and how you can bring in new business. All right, hope this video helped you out. Leave me a comment down below if you have any other questions. Go ahead and subscribe, click that bell for more awesome free videos like this, and I'll see you next time. Hope this helped. Bye.